welcome if you are new, welcome if you've seen this before. This is the AWeeDreamWorld podcast, which is mostly a knitting podcast, but it's also sewing and other things, any kind of crafty stuff that I'm doing. And this is episode 3. It's been a wee while since I've done one of these, just mostly because life's been very busy. As I've mentioned in other episodes, I have a young boy and he's just started school and he's in school now, which part of that blows my mind away because I'm thinking, my baby's not a baby anymore, he's in school now. And we were sick the week before school. Me and him were both sick. It wasn't COVID. We went and got ourselves tested, but it was hard. He's hardly ever been sick, and that's the first time I had been sick since February of 2020. So it was a while, and it wasn't that bad, but it was still pretty bad because it's been a while. So I've been busy with school. We were sick. My dog that I showed in the last podcast, she's just gone into heat. So there's that now. Lots of stuff. Lots of busyness. So I have not found the time. Also, I have a friend whose mom and grandma are moving. And so I've been helping them move because we're close, almost like family, but they're friends and all of that. So lots of stuff, and as a result I haven't done a whole bunch of knitting, which for me is like, meh. I love my knitting, but I have done some. I have acquisitions. So if anyone's interested in that, I'll leave that till after I'm done talking about my knitting stuff. But yeah, I have some knitting. I have lots of acquisitions. I have knitting acquisitions. I have sewing acquisitions, and I even have decor acquisition that it's really cool. I have also been thrifting the last few days, and I found some pretty cool stuff. I'm really excited because one of the things just screams my room, because my room is also my craft room, so it just screams it, but it kind of looks nice downstairs, so maybe keep it. Anyways, so the only thing I've been working on really since the last podcast is this guy. It's my cardigan, which is almost done. I just need to do the button band and weave it in. But apart from that, it's all done. I've actually been wearing it around the house, just to something to put on, and now I'm really getting excited when it's like finished, because I'll be wearing it all the time. It's really easy to put on. I have lots of plain t-shirts like this that I wear, and it's a lot of fun. It's rainbow speckled. It's like, the background of it looks white, but it's kind of like an off-white. Yeah, it depends on what lighting you're in, but it's really, like, I love the shoulder, the seaming detail. All of it had to be seamed, which was fun. I don't know, I like seaming if it's easy to do, and you can do the mattress stitch pretty easy. And it's always satisfying when you line up the pieces just right, just the way they're supposed to be, and it looks nice. So yeah, I was really excited about this. Yeah, I haven't been knitting a whole lot. So this is just about done. I will have it done for the next one for sure, and I'll probably be wearing it. Wearing these things because it's finally fall. I wish you could see out my window, because out my window I've got a lovely big evergreen tree, and then just beside is this great big, I wish I knew what kind of tree it was, but it goes out like that, and then it's like a perfect dome, and it's so huge. and its leaves are all starting to go yellow, and it's been windy all day, and it always blows all around, and the leaves come and they dance as they fall down, and you see it right outside my window. It's so pretty. It's so nice now that it's September, because it's still warm, but there have been days even leading up to September where it was really cold, and it's been raining tons, and it's my kind of weather. I love this kind of weather. I was thinking I have a cardigan put away. It's an older whip. Oh, I'm sorry. My dog keeps barking outside, and she just moved the camera and went all boom. She's a little bit funny because it's her first heat cycle, and it's been a few days now. I think today's like day 3. She's a little bit, yeah. She's super affectionate, and she's also extra kind of crabby. It's very weird. As far as she goes, I'm waiting until she completes her first heat cycle, and then she's at least a year old before I get her spayed. And now she's just getting watched really well, because she can't just go out the way I used to have her to be walked, but that's okay. They're talking about, right, I got this cardigan, that's this lovely green. I don't know if you can see it. Show you. It is a sweater by Brooklyn Tweed that I have put away because I've not been working on it for a wee bit, and you're supposed to hold 2 strands of Brooklyn Tweed's shelter together, and I chose these 2 greens, and I really want it for when it gets really chilly in fall, so I might bring that out and show you guys. But I've also got other green stuff, and I feel like green and rust kind of colors are perfect for fall. It makes you feel a little fall-y. I don't know. So I have plans for. I keep thinking about it because it's the season, and yeah. So rainbow sweater. That was the only thing that I've been working on from before, but I have a new cast on because I got new yarn that I have been working on pretty much constantly. I love it. I can hardly put it down. It is a pattern from Lane issue 7, and you might recognize it. I think it's a pretty popular pattern, and it was the one that they showed on their cover. I'll try and put a picture in somewheres. But I love it. I love my pinks, and this is just awesome. It is 100% non-superwash, and I got this yarn from Crux Fibers, and this is the main one. It's this kind of, it's almost like those coral pinks that's kind of almost orangey, but it's still pink. This is kind of like that. Sorry. I have both puppy and kitty in here. And this is the mohair, and they're both by Crux Fibers. The mohair is called Cherry Blossom, and this one's called Summer Pick Me Up. This is 100% blue-faced Leicester, and it's untreated, so non-superwash. And this is 72% mohair and 28 silk. So these two together is making this. It is so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it. It's just, for me, whenever I look for yarns this kind of color, they're always superwash, and I don't mind superwash yarns, but at the same time, I do prefer more rustic non-superwash, and I do prefer non-superwash if I can get it, and this is so pretty, and it's non-superwash. The pink, like that's a pretty good representation right there of the pink. And the lace. And the pattern is so great because once you've done the lace thing a couple of rows, a couple of repeats, it becomes super easy, and I've got to memorize. You just do it. And this is what I've been doing. The pink yarn is acquisition. It was one of my latest acquisitions was these guys. I also, that's it for knitting, actually. That's all I've really done. I have finished my son's blanket, but he didn't want me to talk about it. And I'm like, okay. So the school blanket's done. And what else have I done? Ooh, I've been working on this. This is just a random thing I decided to sit and do because I moved my sewing machine up to my room. It used to be in the kitchen, and I've moved everything up to my room, and I started doing this. Nice. And it looks kind of silly, I guess, when I look at it on the camera. But these are all just sewn on, and I plan to wash this so all of this will fray, all the edges of the different fabrics. And I'm making a bag. Just a random bag. I have a whole bunch of this fabric that I'm not too fond of, that I'm using for batting for the inside. And I have this lovely fabric, which is like little clovers. Oh, they're so nice. I've had these fabrics for a long time. And I was sitting and I was looking at them, and I'd originally bought them for a quilt. But then I decided not to do that quilt because I was not very good. The shapes were something I wasn't used to, and it was really hard. And I kept making lots of mistakes and things weren't lining up. So I just went, I'm not doing the quilt. And I thought, well, I could probably make some shirts out of the fabric. But then there wasn't enough to make shirts. So I was like, well, what am I going to do with this fabric? I don't know. I love it, but there's nothing I can do with it. So I decided, just looking at it, to make myself a new, just regular bag for walking around, because I don't mind having stuff like unconventional types of things, and I love it. I like the kind of outwardly crafty look, I guess you could say. And so this is, I think, a pretty good size, because I think to myself, I need to be able to carry knitting in it. Some other random essentials that you usually need when you're going out. And because I'm a mom, I need to have room for stuff for my child. So I'm like, I think this is pretty good. It's about a little bit bigger than the old diaper bag that I've been using that's really ratty and kind of gross. So it's about that big, and I'll make it about that wide. And I plan to steal the zipper off the old bag and put it on this, and then it'll be nice. I think it'll be nice. So just doing this. Yeah, I think that's it. I did a couple rows on that blanket, or not blanket, that what's it called? That sweater with the Gotland wool that I was working on with the color work bit. I did a couple rows in that, but not a whole lot. The thing I've mostly been working on was that pink sweater. Just because I love the feel of it in my hand. It feels so nice, and every time, like the mohair is variegated, and the pink, the main pink, it's supposed to be just like a solid color, but there are certain areas that are more pink than others, so it's still a little bit unique, and I love it. I guess the next thing I talk about is a cast on. I plan to cast on. A friend of mine who's a podcaster, Inga from Knitting Traditions, started the Weekender Light. Yeah, Weekender Light. And she was talking about it, and I was like, that sounds like fun. I want to do that one too. And I didn't know there was a light, and so I went looking at the regular sized one, and I actually found yarn for it. But then I didn't really want to order the yarn because I've just ordered a whole bunch, and I'm like, I don't think I need any more yarn just yet. Wait a little bit. But I thought, well, if I knit a larger size with thinner yarn, it should work out. And then she told me that there's a light version, and I got really excited. So I went scrambling in my stash, and I don't have enough of one yarn to do the whole thing. So I'm doing mine with 2 yarns. And I have these. This is my color choice. This one you might recognize, I think, from the last one. It is a non-superwash yarn from Crux Fibers, and it's the rainbow pastel one that the only thing I was upset about it was that there was 4 available, and I meant to buy 4 and I only bought 2. Of course, when I went to buy the other 2, they were gone, but because I wanted a sweaters quantity, because it's just, look at that. That's right up my alley. I love light colors, I love pastels, but I also love stuff like this and this, and I don't know if you can see, but these guys, this is like a nice coppery autumn color. I bought this for a shawl. I have one more of these wound up too somewhere, but so I've got this, and then I have this yarn, which this one is 100% Blue Face Leicester. This one is, this is an undyed yarn from the Small Bird Workshop, which she is an indie dyer. I think she's in BC, Canada. I really love her yarn. I've bought her yarn before. These 2 little guys are from her. I bought them because actually this is a blue and it's called Cornflower, and I really like the name and the color. And then I've always liked, I love with pink, she had these, so I bought enough to make myself a shawl. This is also from her, and this is 75% Blue Face Leicester and 20% Masham. And it's undyed, so it's not exactly the same wool, but it's the same weight, and I think the colors should go together pretty good. I think it should work out. So yeah, this is a project I plan to cast on. And I think I may do that pretty soon. So my agenda is to just finish up Rainbow and then work as much as I want on this guy. But this would be a lot of fun because sometimes when I help my friend with her kids, I can't really be knitting because it takes too much brain power, but I can be winding because I wind all my balls of yarn by hand, and this guy needs wound. I think this will be the next one I do. I've got 2 of these and 2 of these. Yeah, that should be good. So that's not really an acquisition. That one was an idea for what I want to do next. Now now I'm just going to probably talk about acquisitions because I have a lot of them and I'm really excited about them, and the decor thing I can't wait to show because it's so cool. So I'll leave that for now. So I'll talk about acquisitions. So I bought the kit to knit up the Opus shawl. And here are the yarns. Oh, plus white, which is wound up. But here, this is the color combination Gentleman. And I love it. I think it's going to be really cool. The yarn is really, really soft. And it's going to look really nice in the winter with a winter jacket. See, like, I love this one. The green is really pretty. It's showing up kind of bluey, but it's very kind of like an evergreen kind of green. It's very nice. 70% flake land merino, 30% alpaca, and 100% awesome. Yeah, see if it gives a, it doesn't give a colorway name. Oh yeah, ivy, there we go. Color ivy. It is an ivy kind of green, if you've ever seen English ivy. But yes, I bought the kit. This guy's missing his label and this one's been wound up, but that was the acquisition. I planned to do the kit, and I had actually planned on joining the knit along, but with everything going on, I realized I don't have time. I don't. It'll be way too much. It'd be a lot of stress, and I thought, oh, but I'll still knit the shawl because I love shawls. I'm mostly a sweater knitter, but I also like other smaller things. I'll occasionally knit. Like, I don't usually knit hats, but I decided I wanted a hat, so I knit this. That kind of thing. I love this because it is like a natural kind of white. It's not white. There we go. I know. I love all my yarns. I love everything I get for crafting in its own sort of way. And I've met people who they're not so into crafting. And I've met people who are into crafting, but they're not so into maybe what you're crafting with. But for me, I get excited about everything. I'm like, yee. So I'm really excited about this. And another acquisition that I made, these aren't all of them, but oops. I bought some stitch markers. They're stitch markers from the Sexy Knitter. I've heard of her before, and for the first time ever, I saw an ad from her on Instagram, and I thought to myself, ooh, those are cute, and I went to her page. Big mistake if you don't want to spend money, because she's got so much nice stuff, and there's so many things that are cute. It was hard to decide what I actually wanted, but I bought 2 sets, and they're the kind with the rings, so bought 2 sets, and this is the first one, and I'll just show them one at a time. It's hard to hold them all, but oops, focus. Okay, it's not working, but there we go. They're kitty donuts. They're cat donuts. They're so cute. Got that one with rainbow whiskers. Are they cute? Oh my gosh. They were just, okay. I thought of this because of I love cats. And I have a kitty, and I thought this would be so much fun. Things I'll show you the ones on my project because I have some on there too. But the ones that really drove me to her, she has these little vegetables, and they're just so cute. Like there's a radish, and look at the peas. They're so cute. Little peas in a pod. They have faces. Oh my gosh, get them. See, they got little faces. And I don't know if she makes these or if she buys them in and then sells them, but they're so cute. I love them. They're really hard to keep away from my son because he loves them too. He was playing with them for ages earlier today. And I'll show you the ones I've got on this, because this you had to put stitch markers to kind of section off the different bits between just the plain stockinette and then the lace. So I used 2 veggies and 2 kitty cats. And on the edges I have veggies. And that one is a little mushroom. And then other kitty cats. There's a pink one. And a little blue kitty. And then we've got broccoli. I love them. They're so cool. I don't often buy stitch markers. What I usually do is I just take a little scrap bit of yarn and I make a loop and I just tie it, and that's what I use. But I decided to get myself something really cute. And I love them. I really love them. So that's actually, is that everything? I think that's everything that I've like ordered. But the last couple of days I've been thrifting. And I discovered there's this, I call them charity shops, but here in Canada most people would call them a thrift store. But there is this one really close to my house, and they are, I would say, the best. Like, they have the best selection that I've seen in my city, and they have some of the nicest stuff. Like, it's a really nice place. In fact, when they get in really, really nice things, they auction them off. They don't just put them up for sale. And I recently discovered they have a craft area. I didn't know this. I was there with my friend, and I just kind of stumbled on it, and I was like, because they have jars and jars of straight knitting needles. So many knitting needles. And I was looking at them, and I wanted to buy some, but I keep thinking to myself, I prefer to knit with circulars, so why would I buy straights? But I'm still like, so they had knitting stuff. They actually had yarn, and I did look at it, but it was mostly really old acrylic yarn, and I didn't want an old acrylic yarn, but they had fabric. And they had a whole bunch of Christmas fabric, and I thought, this is cool. My idea was, I'm going to make a quilt, because it looked like somebody had bought it to make a quilt, and then to change their mind, just send it to the thrift store. So I bought it all. And it was really good. It was like $10 for 4 meters. Here, usually, if you're going to buy fabric new, it's about $10 for 1 meter. So it was a great deal. I'll show you. I've got a whole bunch. So this is the first one. It's like it's Christmas flowers. Can't remember what they're called. Those big red Christmas flowers. And I've got 4 meters of this. And I've got, and then I got this. Little Santa Claus on their sleighs and Christmas trees. And there's like little red snow. I love it. I've got 4 meters of this. To me, that's amazing. Like, 4 meters is so much. I got this. It's like little mistletoes or holly. And then this is very similar, but kind of reversed colors. So, the idea was I was going to make a Christmas quilt with all of this. But I don't really have enough for a quilt unless I go and buy more fabric for the back, and then I'd have to go and buy batting. So I thought, I'm like, well, what else could I do with it? For these two, I for sure have enough to make shirts. Like those kind of ugly Christmas kind of blouses that aren't really that ugly. They're kind of quirky, but some people think they're ugly kind of thing. I can do that with these, and that's sort of the plan. Maybe if I have enough for a dress, I might do that, but I don't know if 4 meters is enough for a dress. I don't think so. We will see, but I should definitely have enough for shirts. These two, haven't got a clue yet. We will have to wait and see what I do with these. Maybe I could make a shirt with these, but like with both of these is like a color block kind of thing. I think that'd be kind of cool. So I got those. I found this. This isn't Christmas, and these here are all quilting cottons. This isn't quilting cotton. It's a thinner cotton, but it's like this really pretty floral. And I think I have enough to make a dress out of this. And if not, I definitely have enough for a shirt. And I don't know, I love this. This would look so nice with some knitting. Like say I've got this and then this as an undershirt. I think that would look really, really nice. So I got these. this was exciting. This wasn't, the first day I went to the thrift store and I saw all of the craft stuff. I didn't actually bring enough money on me to buy any of it, so I went back the next day and just to see if it was still there, and it was. And this was new, so this was cool. So I got that. These are just regular plain old fabrics, but I found something else even cooler that I didn't even know existed. This one will show you exactly what this is to make. It's a bunny! Oh my gosh, it's so cute. There's a big thread. It's so cute. It's one of those kind of vintage, all floral animals. My mom used to have tons of them. And actually, I've got one of them here. See? This one's got a hole in it. But this is what they look like. And it's just this floral fabric, and they're made to look like stuffed animals. These are so cool. I love these. Just for little decoration things around the house. Because I love vintage kind of 80s or older type stuff. And to me, that's super cool. It comes with absolutely everything to make it. I just have to cut the bits out and sew it. Totally brand new. It even comes with the thing to do the bow. Look at that! Ah! This was so cool! I was so excited when I saw what that was. I also got this. This was in the, like, they were both in the same bag together, and it was something like $2 for both of these. It was awesome. This one is to make this guy, but there's two sizes. You can make a smaller one and a bigger one. And they're all labeled. Exact same one, but you make it twice. I am so excited. I can't wait to do this. Because I've got a sewing machine, I've got these. I'm just so excited now because I've got this whole big thing of polyfill. So it's cool. I'm excited. Like finding something like this, it just made me do the yee thing. So yeah, so these were one of my most exciting finds, and I'm probably, now that I've kind of showed them off a bit, I'm probably going to cut them out and just spend a couple of nights sewing it all together, because I can just, my dog doesn't mind the sewing machine, which is nice. I thought she would be a little bit spooked by it because it had been put away for months and she had hardly seen it. So I was really worried that she might have freaked out when she heard it, but she doesn't mind, which is awesome. The last thing I found, which gets me super excited, is my decor item that I found. And isn't this cool? It goes on the wall. I think it's so cool. It came with a note, and it says, a vintage molded plastic art plaque. And then it said, made in the 1970s, in the US. And it says it's in great shape. I saw this, now that is really cool. It would look really, really nice in here, like maybe even on that wall. Maybe. That's like a brick wall though, so I don't know if I can put it there. But yeah, this was my biggest excitement thing. I love it. My friend thought it was really ugly, but I was just like, nah, this needs to be in a craft room for sure. Especially, I wish if I don't spin, but if I had a spinning wheel, I probably would, because I could just sit there and spin. To me, it seems almost like it would be almost like sewing, the same kind of rhythmic feel you get. and I could sit and sew all day. So so that was that. I think that might be everything for this one. I don't know. I don't feel like I talked for a long time. I had to keep cutting it because animals and my son's home. I've got someone watching him. My brother's watching him, but he came up here at random and said he wanted a hug, so he got a hug. But it's... I don't know. I thought I'd have more to talk about, but I guess I don't. Got coffee. Half a cup of cold coffee, which is always nice. I guess I never did talk about what I was wearing. This is a cardigan. I don't even remember the designer's name or the name of it. I'll put it down below, but I talked about this in my first one, maybe? Yeah. This is 3. I feel like it's a lot longer than 3, but so much time has passed. But yeah, and this is knit in Fiber Tales Gotland yarn. Some of her yarn. This is the batch that she had in February of 2020. I think February or March, somewhere around there. That's when I ordered it. I really love it. She said that it gets almost like a mohairy halo, and she's totally right. It does. It kind of washes out some of the details because in the pattern, the way it's supposed to be is when you cast off, you deliberately cast off knitwise, even on the ribbings, to make it makes like a chain detail all the way around, and you can't really see it from the fuzz. Maybe you can sort of see it. You can see it a lot better on the button band. See? But yeah, you can see it a lot better on the button band. And this hat was it's a really fast knit. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's, I think, just called the Slouchy Hat or Slouchy Sock Hat. And for mine, I knitted it bigger. I think I knitted a bigger size because I have a small head, but I wanted it to be big enough so that if I fold the ribbing over, it's not going to be super tight, because usually when you stretch out knitting, it's not as warm. So that was the idea, and I wanted to have enough room so that it would be kind of slouchy, because it's a slouchy hat. But also, I always most of the time I have my hair up, and I wanted to be able to have my hair in it and still be slouchy. So I knitted mine a lot bigger, and the yarn I used was a mohair and a superwash yarn from the Woolly Cabin, I think, on Etsy. I really love her yarn. I've bought it before, and actually this one, you can't really see it, but it's, I guess I can pull it up. I'm planning on using this to make a hat for my son for winter, but it's like a navy blue with little speckles in it. Like, they're lime green and purple and blue speckles. I made him a little, if you've ever seen Fiber Tales podcast thing where she does like a mini demo of how to make a mini kid size shawl, and it was free. Oh, excuse me. It was totally free, and I made that. She used fingering weight yarn, and I used this, which is a DK weight. So I have made him one out of the other skein of this I bought. But I plan to make him a hat with this, pull it out, these two, which, if you've seen my first episode, I showed off my really big Mellow V sweater, and this is the yarn I used for it. This is Madame Lettuce, which they don't make anymore, unfortunately. It's one of my favorite yarns. I wish they still made it, but the mill's closed, so unfortunately. But it is 80% Angora and 20% lamb's wool. It is so soft, and it fluffs so much. And this is supposed to be the beige. Like there was 3 colorways that were natural color. There was from like natural white all the way up to this was the darkest of the 3. And then she had 3 dyed. There was a red, a purple kind of color, and a blue. I actually have a little bit of all of them. I've got, like right here is my sewing machine, and then on my windowsill I bought a gift box kind of thing with 20-gram cake of each color in it. Just to keep, because I love the yarn and I want a little bit of all of it, so it's like a keepsake box for me. This is really great yarn. Oh, it's so fluffy. But this would be probably the white of the sheep. Oh no, right, because I'm not doing sheep. This would just be like the snowy bits. Because for his, what I did is I took the color chart bit for the sheep from the pattern, because the pattern is called the Babble Hat. And I've already knit a Babble Hat, but I plan on changing the sheep. And instead of doing sheep, it'll be cars and trucks all the way around. So I'm altering it a little bit, but this will be the main color. I'll probably use this for the snow and other bits. And I've got other pickles yarn, like this kind that I probably use. I've got colored ones, I've got like yellow and orange and stuff. This is the Pickles Soft Merino. I can't read Norwegian, but I know it's Soft Merino because that's when you go to their site and you go to the English side, that's what it's called. But all the labels are in Norwegian. So I have quite a bit of that stuff, and I also do have different acrylics that sorry about that. My dog, she was up here, now she's downstairs, and she just suddenly is barking randomly, like rah, 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 rah. I don't know. It's a dog in heat is a very interesting animal. Just talking about that, but yeah, I do plan on making him the Babble Hat, but instead of sheep it'll be cars. Hopefully you'll see that soon. I may remake his shawl because his shawl is really small. I made it for him, I think he was 2, or maybe even younger. I can't really remember, but I made it, and it's really, he should have a bigger one for winter. And I could always add in yarn because this is a lot. Like I have a good 50 grams of this wound up. I don't really have to break into this. Yeah, I've got more than enough for that. I think that's everything. I think I'm done. Thank you for watching. I'm just staring, trying to figure out there must be something else. Because I remember when I was getting everything together, I was like, it's so much going on in my head, and I've got so much stuff to talk about, and now I feel like there's not as much as I thought. But thank you very much for watching. It's actually really cool. Yeah. I guess I should, I don't know, mention or talk about when Inga from Knitting Traditions mentioned that I draw. I do draw. I didn't want to. I was hesitant. I didn't know what to do about it because I wanted this podcast to be kind of like everything I do, and I do a lot of stuff. But I feel like if I threw drawing into it too, it would be too much like the green bean, and I don't want to be like I love Katie Greenbean, I really do. In fact, she's one of my favorite podcasters ever, and like watching her made me feel really, there were certain things that made me feel better about myself watching her podcast, and really, she's really great. And I did not want to make it seem like I was trying to copy her, because I've got the sewing, I've got the knitting, and then I have the drawing too. But if anybody wants to see more drawing, I can totally do that. I've had ideas of ways I could bring drawing into this. I would like to do this more often too, but sometimes it's hard to fit it in. Whenever time I think I have time to do it, there's no daylight now, so it's like, I I don't want to sit because I like to have my curtains open. I only really close them at night, and then just the artificial light in here at nighttime makes everything, like the walls are cream, everything gets very yellow and funnied. Like, it doesn't look the way it's supposed to, so I would rather have daylight, and during the day it's great, I can do that, but the last while it's been during the day, everything's been like go, 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 and then it's get the baby to bed. I say baby, he's always going to be my baby, but you know, it's like, and then it's the end of the day, and you look and there's no daylight, and then you think to yourself, and I'm so tired. So you just go to sleep, and then you think, I'll do it tomorrow, and it doesn't happen. So anyways, thank you, and I hope you guys all have a good day and a good existence. Whatever day you may watch this, whether it's a weekend or a weekday or whatever time of year it is. Right now it's September, and the leaves are changing, and the wind's going, and it sounds great, and it smells great, and all of that. So yes, I will bring somebody to say goodbye as well. So my only little friend with me today is this kitty. This is Mew Mew. She's about 5 months old. Look how pretty her eyes are. Oh, I love her. She was having a nap on my bed. She's so sweet, and she wants to say thank you, everybody.